Sorry, I forgot to clean the camera. Oh boy, what can we see? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Oh dear. I hope you can hear me. This is the first video. So, hello. My name is Charlie, and this is Etheria Begins. You're just gonna have to get something started. I'm uncomfortable. Okay. Let's get a few cards out and just see what's here. Okay. If you see me looking off to the side, or if I have to move really quickly, my child is asleep and I may have to go and get him at any point. If so, I have to end the live. Let's probably get that ready, actually. For now, we're good. So, you want to undertake a journey of improving your finances and finding the value that you bring, right? The value that you can bring into the world. You have the Ace of Pentacles for that. You feel like you don't know what the next steps are, that potentially you don't have access to that opportunity right now. But I think what's more likely is that you are just being asked to jump, step forwards. I think you're pretending not to know, from what I can see, because the next step we have is the Tower. Right? And in my card, you can almost see like the eagle getting its wings. I don't know if you can see that very well, but this eagle becomes a spirit eagle, if you will. So he doesn't have these wings yet, but there is the potential. And I feel like that's what's happening here in my Ace of Pentacles. You see there's a bit of a, wow, we have got to fix the lighting next time. That is horrific. Let me see if I can do that now. Hold on. But now, yeah, okay. Ooh. Okay. Where did this come from? Keep going. Keep going. We're going to feel dumb. It's fine. Okay. Look. It looks like there's no more ladder to climb, right? That big, juicy diamond is right there, but how will you reach it? You've got no more ladder to climb, right? What if your perspective's wrong? What if you get to the top of this hill, there's a little bit more going back, and there's something else? And this is actually a little bit further down the line. It's just a promise. You know, you're on the path. You're not at the destination. You see, you want to reap, but you have not sown. Nah, come on, boy. Come on, boy. All right, so I have to record the moment my child goes to bed instead of about an hour after. Okay. Noted. A lot of these first videos are just going to be me talking to me, figuring it out, and I need to be fine with that. Okay. You don't yet realize you have the ability to overcome this. And so, wrong card, the Tower. You have to go through the uncomfortable. You have to put yourself in the situation in which you think it's impossible for you to thrive, completely out of your comfort zone. You need to go beyond the point of what you think you can achieve and allow yourself to fail, right? Is this live stream going well? No, I don't think so. I've gotten a fair few things wrong because I've never done this before. I'm not prepared. I didn't know what to expect. Here we are. Technically, I failed, but I didn't because I've done it. We're doing it. And we're going to learn how to do it as we go. It's not an overnight success that we're looking for. It's consistent growth through action and intention. So you go from, how will I ever get there? I could never reach it. Complete despair. I'm not who I thought I was. It's all falling apart. Oh my God, help. I'm literally drowning. Bringing it home. You know what I'm saying? It's going to come around quite quickly. But it's not in the sense of just sit back, relax, it's coming. No. Once, what was that quote? The more it takes, the more it gives. Right? The more it takes, the more it gives. If it takes everything you have, if it takes an old identity of yours that isn't relevant, that is in fact just a lie, then it can give you something new. Right? So the Seven of Pentacles is often about craftsmanship, really honing in your mastery. In the classic deck, it's a man and he's looking at these pentacles and he's like chiseling away at them. He's already made 6, he's making the 7th. And again, it talks about consistent action, but now you have a better foundation to build on. Is that what it is? That's what this card is talking about. So you're going to build the little hill in the back. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's no more steps. Guess I'm becoming a step builder. Do you know what I mean? And then it works. And then it works. The 10 of Pentacles. So it's all Pentacles. We had a little bit of a rocky start because we didn't know what to expect, but now we're here, we're doing it. Is my shadow off-putting? What a question, right? Oh, what a fucking question. Okay. Oosh. Okay. Okay. Then you come to the 7 of Swords, which is a lot about self-deception, actually. But in this case, the person is trying to prove themselves, it looks to me. They're trying to prove themselves to leaders and scholars and academics, educate people. I think you're under the impression that you're here to play in someone else's arena, right? How will you compare in these arenas? Will you live up to their standard? But from this, I get the impression that you're building a new one, right? And maybe that's where the self-deception is coming in, because you don't think that's possible. You don't know if it's almost arrogant to believe that. But in this day and age, I think we are in the time of there being a call for people to do that. There are broken systems. And I think instead of going into these systems and being like, I'm going to be the best fixer, I think there's no fucking point. I truly don't believe that there's a point. I think it's about creating new systems that work, right? So possibly that's what you're here to do. But this is a difficult realization, and it goes back to the start of the reading. It's like, I don't even know the steps for that. So now I have this knowledge about my purpose, what I want to achieve, what I think that I'm here for, but this goal seems so unachievable. I don't even know how to start, where to begin to fathom how to make this realistic. Do you know what I mean? And I think we as people are programmed that way, to believe that no amount of action and good intention can surmount to anything. It will just get crushed in the machine. And that's not true. That's really not true. But it does dissuade people from trying. And because it dissuades people from trying, we never see the creation of those new systems. And the new systems that are running and are getting working do not get much attention, because either the they doesn't want you to see them, not, like the overbearing they, whoever you are. Well, it's just because good things typically aren't good clickbait. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm getting off topic, but it is possible to create these new systems, but you have to provide for yourself first, which I think is why this is a huge pentacle-based reading. You've realized that you're built for a near unattainable goal. This is about purpose. I've just realized the Ace of Pentacles, the hands that give the jewel, are like coming out of the sky. This is your divine assignment. This is your purpose. And realizing that you are a physical person, you are having an earthly experience, but you're also connected to the divine, and you're here to help integrate some of that divine goodness into the earthly realms. And that is a very difficult process to understand and decipher. And then when you start to bring it home and it gets its roots down and you can plant the seeds, you know what I'm talking about. It gets a bit more tangible, but then you need to keep working at it, because now you've got the trust. You need to continue the pursuit, and then your corner of the world just begins to, it's really creepy up there. It just begins to emanate. Do you know what I mean? And people can see it. So I didn't want this to be a reading for me. But there, I have to be honest, I do have to claim it. Makes sense, really. So you don't need to prove yourself in existing arenas. You're not here to compete in them. You weren't made to be compatible with them. Here we are. I need to move that fucking light again. Oh. It's the creepy alien hand. Do you know what I mean? When I'm gesturing, I'm getting like these like massive fingers across the wall. They're freaking me out, and I'm not watching. Oh, okay. And then you have the King of Cups, right? Which, in my deck, is all about family. So this for me is how are you supporting yourself? How are you, where are you centered? Okay, so I've been through this cycle recently. Where are you centered and what motivates you? Because if you're someone who motivates yourself, okay, that's annoying me. Where can we put it? I'm going to have to figure this out another time. I'm going to have to deal with it. Go. Are you someone who motivates yourself with shame? Right? Like, if you're someone who does, you know exactly what I mean by that. I can't think of a good example right now because I'm in a panicked state. I'm in a panicked state. I really hope people can hear me. Oh, that's the mic. Oh. I have to watch this back. We're learning as we're going. We're learning as we're going. We're fine. And when you're motivated by shame, you don't see that as a learning process. You see that as a process that's all about failure and all about shame. Fucking battery's about to die. I literally charged it. Another learning opportunity. Bring the charger upstairs next time. Got it. Got it. Okay. So I'm allowed to be annoyed. Totally normal to be annoyed about that. It wouldn't be fucking Lois Griffin nose on the wall. This is a disaster, but I can see the funny side in it. And we're just going to have to focus on that. Focus on that. If in your learning process you start defaulting to shame, anger, self-destruction, fear, if you let those things drive you, they will unbalance you. You will not have any stability. You will not be able to continue this journey in a smooth trajectory. You know, it's all right to fluctuate. It's okay to fluctuate, but what it's not okay is to then spiral and spiral out of it. As often as you can, you have to come back to center and understand you are a human with a divine assignment going through a process. That is it. That is it. And you can apply that to anything. Anything you are doing, I would argue, you could apply that. So you're walking away, Six of Swords, you're walking away from modalities of being that are harmful to you, that are actually detrimental to your progress. You've been using these things to help progress for far too long, and actually they stunt your growth. Shame and humiliation, anger, fear, these are all very helpful tools in the short term. When they dominate your long-term thinking, they dominate your life. If you live in a fearful, angry, shameful state, you are out of harmony with your soul. I'm so sorry, your soul does not exist and live in those states. Okay, that is you as a human, you as an ego. It's one of those things. You were built to handle this. You were built to have an experience and learn and grow and create. Actually, that's learn, grow, create, be. I think that's it. Love. I think those are really the only functions of a soul. That rings true. Yeah, that rings true. I feel that in my chest nicely. And I think there's a lot of work that's done to just completely take us out of that, because when you're in that space, you hear a lot of, I hate to say the word influencers and gurus, but you hear a lot of people who are successful within energetic spaces talking about like having regulated nervous systems and about being able to almost create anchor points in the future. And these things are, my monitor's glitching out. We're good. Create anchor points in the future. And they're all really positive things. And that is because once you're in a calm, loving soul state, I'll call it, once you're there, things happen very quickly. And you can, once you understand it, you understand how to get there, it almost accumulates and snowballs, and it becomes harder to take you out of that place of power, which is, I think, why there's so much emphasis on keeping people in a state of disempowerment, of disillusion, because once you're there, it's very hard to get you out of it, right? The King of Pentacles. Right? So you're ready to walk away from all these bullshit modalities of living. You don't really know how to do it. We go through this journey. I nearly called the video "It Begins Again." You know, this video is advertised for Pisces release. It's of everyone. I'm a Pisces, so I'm just trying to find my people. But it's cyclical, and a lot of the circumstances in your life, you'll kind of revisit them in alternative means. Like these things will always come up. Your past will always come up, you know. Um, and you can continuously gain a higher understanding and greater peace and greater clarity. And let the pot keep stirring. You know, it's like a good soup. You gotta bring everything up every now and then, make sure nothing's fucking burnt to the bottom. Like, do you know what I mean? Once you're in the King of Pentacles energy, you are aware of your abundance. This is almost like the masculine version of an empress, which is not the emperor, I don't think. If we're talking in terms of which of the minor arcana is closest to the empress, I would say it's the King of Pentacles, because of the abundance, because of the earthly connection. My laptop's gonna die. Oh boy. Okay, one final card, as quick as possible. Go. This was on the top of the deck. It's come back now. You've been through disappointment. It was really sad. Okay. Now what? Judgment. Discern. Discern everything about that situation. King of Swords. Again, it's all a mental lesson. You're getting onto the right train tracks, right? When you're sad, upset, what we talked about, very hard to get you there. Once you are there, you will be able to hold it. You have the emotional support of yourself, you have the emotional clarity, you have the mental fortitude to align those two. Now you're solid. Now you're solid, you have the Emperor. You can make informed choices about the world, about your soul purpose, about how you are going to proceed through your environment, and how you are going to react within those experiences and what may come. The Fool. Then you truly get a new beginning. And there she is, the Empress. Now you're in a flow state. Now you're in a flow state. I think the masculine element has to come first, because it is able to guard the feminine element. The feminine element, whilst powerful, is more vulnerable. So you have to know how to protect that energy before you can fully embody it in yourself anyway. So if you're someone who... Gagged myself there. True. I hate this applies to me. If you're someone that's not taking care of yourself, you cannot get into a state of abundance, because you don't care. You don't care. You know, like, you want handouts from your soul, but you're not willing to take care of the conduit for that abundance. Like, your soul would love to give it to you. It's like fucking stamping all over your bank card and wondering why you can't get any money out at the cash machine. What do you think? You wrecked your bank card. Do you know what I mean? But once you understand all that and you can flow with it, justice, divine justice. And I don't mean revenge. I don't mean revenge. I mean good things. The word that comes to mind is comeuppance, but I don't think that's accurate. Jubilations. Okay, I'm done. I think I'm done. I just called myself out there a lot. So we'll be back, maybe even tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe we'll have better lighting and less like fucking alien hands on the wall. Oh my god,